So you saved $10,000 and you're wondering what's next, right? You've been hearing about the emergency fund, you got your $10,000 saved, you built some habits. What do you do next? Well, if that's the question you're asking yourself, that's the one we're going to answer on today's Wealth Twin Show podcast, episode number 14.
Yep.
So let's get started and let's jump right into it, Nadia. I'm Nicole, one half of the Wealth Twins, the older one, by the way, and I have my co host here.
I'm Nadia. Big hair don't care. So let's jump into it. So I think
I did I
Nicole and
did
I,
notice the hair today, and I wasn't gonna say anything, but good job with the fro.
well, Juneteenth is happening tomorrow, so why not? So my thing is this: I think Nicole and I have differing opinions on this, but my thing is, if you have $10,000 saved, that is a good point when you can start taking the gas off savings and start using that money and putting it to different places. Now, the reason why I say this is because most likely you're going to have your emergency savings already taken care of. And now it's time for you to use those new habits that you built up to start doing more with your money that will allow you to grow it even faster than putting it in a bank account. Now, what do I mean by this? If you have built up the habits that allow you to save $10,000, that means you are good at starting to manage your money, especially if you don't make a lot of money in the first place, right? If you make a high salary and saving $10,000 within a week or two, that's easy. But if you're a person who took you 3, 4, 5, 6 months to save up that $10,000, you obviously built up good habits. Now I want you to take those habits and use those to put it into the stock market. And I say this because using your money and putting it in the stock market will help you grow faster than it would be sitting in a savings account. That's because you will start benefiting from the higher risk that the market provides for you. And with higher risk comes higher reward. Now, you may lose that money, but if you have that $10,000 nest egg sitting to the side, you can have the ability to take a little more risk with your money. I look at the stock market, depending on what you're investing in, as an additional savings account because it allows me to supercharge my savings because I'm picking stocks that will allow me to help not only grow my money, but grow my money over time. Now, Nicole, I don't know if you may be differing from this, but what do you think?
I mean, overall, I agree with you, but I think there's certain steps that come in between this. You might have given them, I feel like A to D, so I want to go from A, B, C, D.
Okay, that's
Okay.
fine.
First, again, I agree with Nadia. You should be congratulated if you save $10,000. Now, I don't agree if this means if you're a low income earner or a high income earner because we just know the data says doesn't matter what income level you are, people find it harder and harder to save. So if you have been able to save that money, then you should be congratulated because you have had habits that you have built up that allow you to save money and you have some systems in place. Now, the first caveat of this, or what I want to say you do next, has to depend on if this is only for your emergency fund or if this $10,000 saved is after you have fully funded your emergency fund. Okay. If you have already fully funded, or even if you haven't fully funded your emergency fund, the first thing you should do is recognize that if you can save $10,000, you can definitely save 50,000 or more. It's the same habits and it's the same systems that you have in place that's going to get you from where you are now to where you need to go if you want to continue to save. Then, two, I want you to start taking some things off your plate. And one of the things I really want you to take off your plate is your health. It's time for you to start making all your doctor's appointments. Now, I know that doesn't seem like we're talking about money here, but when you're in the mode, when you're feeling like you're just surviving and you don't have that cushion of at least $10,000, because you should see that once you have $10,000 saved, you're going to start feeling different, right? You're going to start feeling more confident, more at ease. You might be getting a better night's sleep. But when that starts happening, that's the time you can actually take time out and say, okay, now that I'm no longer in survival mode, I need to start focusing on the future. And one of the best things you could do by focusing on the future is to focus on your health. And I know from growing up and also when I was in survival mode, going to the doctor was not the first thing on my things to do. But I'm telling you, as a person that's now really focused on managing money correctly, investing money correctly, you have to learn how to go to your doctors and make that priority first.
I will add to that when she says doctors, make sure you're adding a dentist into that because just given like the priorities, a lot of people put their dental care to the wayside. That is one of the most important things. And you wouldn't believe how important your teeth are when it comes to your health.
And how
Now,
expensive they are to
and
fix.
they're expensive. So if you have the $10,000 saved up and you need some dental work done, start saving up for that. But my thing is this also, depending on what you're saving for, $10,000 is a good amount. But if you're saving for a down payment on a house or anything like that, then I would continue to save. And I say this because if you take the rest of that money that you're trying to put towards a down payment and put it into the market, you have the risk of losing it. So if you are saving up for something big, I would not put that money into the stock market if you need that money in less than a year. Okay. I would keep that money into a savings account, and it wouldn't be some any particular account. It would be a high yield savings account. So at least you're making some interest on your money, or at least for the first couple of hundred or $1,000, right? But then once you hit that savings goal, even if you had 10,000, once you hit the savings goal for that down payment or for that new car, whatever you want to save for, or your wedding or anything like that, then it's time for you to start putting your money to use in different areas. Now, maybe you want to start a business. Maybe you want to start helping out and donating more money. For me, when I hit that savings goal for myself, it was to put a down payment on a house. After that, it was for me to self fund a business that I wanted to start. When you start a business, one of the things you're going to find out, it can be hard to get loans for that business. And it's very hard for you to break even, especially if you borrow money from others. So if you're able and you're in a position to start self-funding yourself when it comes to your business goals and dreams, I say start putting that towards your business, invest in yourself, because that will pay over tenfold. It may take you a little longer to start off the business, but you'll be more conscious about the business decisions you make because it is your money, and you'll be more resourceful. And I'm telling you that from experience. It'll help you not close down, and will help you understand what needs to be done, what's a priority for needing to be bought for that business versus what's a nice to have. Like you may not need new equipment and everything when you're starting a business. You can get by for the first couple of months with some used equipment and then use the business to fund itself so it can buy that new equipment. I'm telling you, self-funding your business is one of the best things you can do when you're starting out, especially if you don't have any experience in the business world and you don't want to lean on others for a loan and you don't want to put yourself in a position to borrow from a bank if you don't have to.
Okay, so with that, I think what you're saying, and I should say what I think you're saying, is they need to pick a direction on how they're going to grow their money.
Exactly.
Now, in order for you to pick a direction to grow your money, you need to sit down and make a plan. And you have to make some goals and you have to prioritize those goals. So the first goal that you hit was saving 10,000. Now, how do we make new goals and how we prioritize those goals? One way that I like to do is one that I learned from Brian Tracy, who is a big self-help guy, um, the personal development guy. And he has this little trick where he writes down, and you only need like a minute or so to do this. Write down at least 10 things that you want to accomplish within the next year, right? Then look at that list of everything you want to accomplish. Like make it a year to 5 years. Everything on that list that you want to accomplish for a year to 5 years. And then look at that list. And when you're looking at it, one of those particular goals is going to jump out at you. Whichever goal jumps out at you, I want you to circle that. That is the one you're going to prioritize. So that might be, it could be buying your house. It could be starting your business. It could be paying for a wedding. It could be, going back to school. Whatever that goal is, that's the one to circle and that's the one you got to prioritize and that's the one you're going to put more money towards. I also agree with you need to start allocating your money. Not all your money needs to go into a savings account anymore because the savings account is good because it's at a risk-free rate and I'll get into that later. Risk-free means if you put it in there, you're basically going to get a guarantee return and you're not going to lose your money. Anything that's going to give you more money than what you get in a savings account, a high yield savings account, comes with some risk, right? Because more risk gives you more reward. And if you're going to take on more risk, then you should get paid more in terms of return for lending out your money. So you want to get something that's going to be over a risk free rate. Now, the way to do that, you have to actually look at stuff that is going to be above inflation. And that goes into maybe starting a business. That's going to give you a higher return if you do it correctly. Go into the stock market. That's going to give you a higher return if you do it correctly. This is how we're going to grow our money. But in order to grow our money, we have to allocate the money into different buckets: short term, intermediate term, and also long term. Now, when it comes to savings, I don't want you to quit saving at all. We're just going to take our foot off the pedal a little bit and start putting more towards the other goals we have that are a little longer term that can allow us to grow our money.
I just coming from a place of experience, when I had saved, when I was really in my savings mode, I know it's very hard to stop saving. Like you feel like this is now a part of you. And I'm not telling you to stop, like Nicole said, and like I said, you just take your foot off the gas a bit. But I have friends who I know, they are very comfortable saving. That's how they feel, like it's how they get their self worth. Okay. It's not only their net
That's
worth,
also
but
how
it's
they
also
grew
their
up.
self
You
worth.
grew up to save your money.
Hmm?
I said that's also how a lot of us grew up. No one told us
Exactly.
about investing. He
Yeah,
told
you
us
didn't
that
know
you work
any other
hard, you save
avenues
your
to
money.
put your money. So to you, or to a lot of people I know, having a lot of money in a savings account makes them feel like they're successful, makes them feel like they are succeeding in life. But that can actually handicap you. I have a friend, one of my best friends. He loves seeing his money in his bank account. Like this is, he feels like he can get it anytime he needs it. It's there. He likes checking his balance. But at the end of the day, he's stealing from himself from the long term because he's sitting that money into a savings account, and that money is losing buying power for him, right? So there's much better uses. So understand, I know this personal finance is personal, and to the individual, $10,000 may not seem a lot, or $10,000 could seem a lot. It's based on the individual. But you got to understand, at what point can you say, you know what? I want to start growing and doing more and getting out of my comfort zone, because a savings account is a comfort zone, right? But you have to ask yourself, what number can I hit? Even if 10,000 may seem low to you, or what number is going to make me feel comfortable, that I feel like I'm ready enough to take on some uncertainty and know that it's okay because I have this cushion sitting here. You have to ask yourself that question. What is that number? Maybe that number is 20,000, maybe that number is 50,000. But what we're telling you is, at one point you have to do more than just saving. That is the beginner stages. You don't stop, it just becomes less of a priority, and you start funneling that money to other things so that your overall wealth plan includes not just savings, but includes other avenues for you to grow your wealth so you can keep it for a longer term. And in order to do that, you need to take on more risk than having it sitting in a savings account. Now, Nicole, what's another reason why you think they should do, what should they do after hitting $10,000 in their savings account?
Now, I know you said that they need to have that number in their head of what makes them feel comfortable. I think another thing people need to do is, what do you need to learn or do in order to feel comfortable? Because
True.
telling someone to invest is not always easy, because if you didn't grow up learning how to invest in this stock market is a mystery to you, or even starting a business is a mystery to you, that's another hard step, because we're into protecting money, not losing money. And most people think that maybe everybody wants a high return on their money, but studies have shown too that more people are interested in protecting their money than they are actually growing their money. So I would also say, what do you need to do to feel comfortable to start investing? I know one step that you're already taking is starting to educate yourself in videos like this, right? You're looking up personal finance videos, you're looking up investing videos. That's one step. But I would say it will also benefit you to go and purchase a course or some type of learning that you can do. Books too will also help to help you get more comfortable, to learn a little bit more about the stock market, investing, real estate investing, growing businesses. These are the traditional vehicles that we use to actually grow our money. Now, on top of that, I would say a lot of people save money and they think that's a great idea, and it is, but don't forget to also have your credit reflect your new habits as well, right? So when you're taking your foot off the pedal of savings, I want you to make sure that you're taking away the debt you have on high interest credit cards. At the same time as you taking out that debt on your high interest credit cards, you're actually going to improve your credit, because we have seen people who have a good amount of savings, but they have a lower credit score than they should, because they're using their credit cards more often than they need to, and they're only paying the minimum. So I would say, take your foot off the gas on the savings, start paying down, and put more than the minimum on your high interest credit cards. And when I say high interest, to me, it means anything that's not a 0% interest credit card, okay? Because again, you're handicapping yourself. The money that you're putting on credit is going to be paid back to someone else and it's not going to you. Whereas if you put that money into the market, that's going to grow for you over time, and it's going to help you grow. So one, I would say, pay down the credit cards, and then two, I would say here's the way to start investing. You're gonna focus on your retirement accounts at work. You're gonna go at least to the match. If you have a 401k or 403b, whatever the employer is matching for you, go at least to that match. Then, if your income is at a certain level where you can, it's time to start funneling some money into your Roth IRA. With that, you're gonna get this is gonna be already tax money that you're putting in there, and it's going to give you more freedom to start growing your money and not worry about those taxes. And at the same time as that, whatever money you have left over, I want you to start funding a taxable brokerage account. And if you don't know what a taxable brokerage account, we're going to link it to this video. We have a video when we talk all about brokerage accounts, what they are, and why you would need them. So those are the two steps I would say you would think. Actually, three. You're going to, one, make your plan of what you're going to prioritize. Two, you're going to start paying down your high interest credit cards. Three, you're going to start funding your retirement accounts and doing all the investing in the ways that I just said. Now, do you have anything else to add with that? Did I miss anything on that one?
No, I don't think you left anything out. I think what you said was fine. Now, I know coming from a saver's perspective, it's kind of difficult to start taking on more risk when you're investing in the stock market like that. But I'm going to tell you now, those are less risky options that you can do with your money after savings than doing a lot of other things that would actually risk the money that you're putting in. Okay. Those are the safer ways to start investing in the market so you can get your feet wet and get comfortable with investing. Now, if you wanted to start putting money into a brokerage account, you can start doing it in small amounts too and start investing in things just to get your feet wet. We have videos on how to start buying stock slices or fractional shares. And we also have videos on how to buy ETFs or anything. Those are the things you want to start practicing, and it doesn't cost a lot of money to do this. You get comfortable practicing, you watch videos like this, and you get to a new habit of not only saving your money, but also investing your money.
At the end of the day, the main thing is to really keep going and building habits that are going to help you continue to save your money and also continue to grow your money, right? You're in a different place now. You're no longer in struggle mode. And if you are, then maybe it is a time to actually start lowering your expenses as well so that you could continue to save and maybe save more money. But if you're no longer in a place where you feel like you're in a struggle mode and you can actually sit back and relax and start breathing a little, please take these steps that Nadia and I have set into account. You're going to start getting on your way to building wealth and also helping yourself in the future, which is the biggest thing that we want for everybody. Your job now is to become as financial literate as you can and continue to make the moves that you have done so far that got you where you are, and to continue to do those moves to get you even further down the road on your financial journey.
I think if you keep in mind the points that we made in this video, I think you'll be surprised at how quickly you'll actually make the next 10,000 and be able to save that. Okay? So, congratulations again for saving $10,000 in your savings account, and make sure you take those next steps so that you are continuing on this marathon called the wealth journey. Okay. So, with that, if you like this kind of content, make sure you subscribe to the channel and like this video. And if you haven't done so yet, make sure you join our free newsletter called the Wealth Pack. And just like any other pack, we leave no one behind. We teach financial concepts and ideas in that newsletter that we don't teach on YouTube. So be a part of our community. We will love to have you.
Also, the Well Pack is actually the only place where we offer our different courses and different memberships that we have to go deeper into the subjects that we talk about in terms of savings, investing, building a business. We do all that within the Wealth Pack, and that's the only places that we share that.
Yep.
So if that sounds like something you're interested in learning more about, then check the link that's in the description.